Hello. Um, Good afternoon to all those that are out there watching me. This is Sharon Weller coming to you live from Perth, Australia. And we've got a couple of interesting topics that I'm going to talk about tonight, this afternoon, and how they how I'm going to tie them in with TBC. But of lately, I don't know if you've been watching my Facebook page, but I've been putting a lot of posts out there about chemtrails. Now, this isn't the topic, okay, but it's been pretty close to home where these ones that I've been posting, where these chemtrails are happening. Once upon a time, I used to think, oh, that's pretty. All these airplanes making, these nice zigzag patterns in the sky. Well, it's not the actual chemtrails I'm going to talk to you about. It's the government behind it. Anyway, my topic today is TBC with Sharon Weller and what's happening. So, if you've been watching the news lately, you would know what's going on in Venezuela. And more to the point, you would know what's also going on in Greece. But I'm going to talk to you about Greece first. I'm just going to bring that up on my screen. So one of the first things, I'm not quite sure, I think a couple of years ago when the Greece economy really nearly crashed. They were one step from going under, but they got bailed out. And that was good for Greece, but I was watching, or actually I was checking the news, and I was reading this little. I'm going to read it to you. It's by a 71-year-old farmer. Okay. Now, forgive me if I mispronounce the names incorrectly. But his name is Demetrius Kostopoulos, or Polis. This man is a wheat farmer. Okay? What does he know about governments? What does he know about how the government cycle turns? What does he know, or more to the point, what does he know about the banking sector? He knows absolutely zero. And he said so. I am a farmer, a wheat farmer. Ask me about wheat. But he got up to catch the 5 a.m. bus from his little village to go to, where is it? Where's he going to? Athens, which was 200 miles away from where he lived, okay? Now, he farms with his farming. He put his children through school. He put his grandchildren through school. And he just wanted to retire and play with his great-grandchildren. But he can't. because of what's happened with the Greece economy. Now, I know it would be very difficult as to what's going on there in Greece. I know they got a bailout package from, I think it was Germany. And they're about, the country's epic struggle to avert bankruptcy should have been settled when Athens received 110 billion in aid. 110 billion in aid. You remember that time, was it not last year, the year before? All the people of Greece went to the banks, okay, to get some money out of their bank accounts. And they were locked out. They were locked out of not only their bank accounts, but they were virtually locked out of ever getting any cash out, which meant whatever they had on their body would have been it. So, and Greece has never been able to rise above that position since. They've never been able to turn the whole government around. I know you can't do it in 1 year. You probably can't even do it in 2 years. But by now they should have been showing some signs of stability somewhere in the government sector. But it's not. Now, so that is just one person. I only picked one person because if I pick too many, the story is going to be the same. No matter which way I looked at it, it would be the same. You actually got to think, how do these people live? How do they get food on the table? Are they working? And if they are working, are they getting paid? What government system is still in place to protect the people? So I just wanted to touch on Greece there, okay? Because within the 2 years since the economy collapsed in Greece, it hasn't got better. Now we're going over to Venezuela. Okay. Now we all know Venezuela is rich in oil. Correct. So why is what's happening in Venezuela today? Why is that happening? Anyway, I'm just going to read you a piece. Caracas, capital of Venezuela, where the poor people hunt for food through the rubbish bags, okay? Yeah, I didn't believe it until I actually saw it for myself. It was done by a really good news reporter. And this, what I'm saying to you about Venezuela, was done at the beginning of May. Venezuela has more oil resources than Saudi Arabia. It should be rich by now. It's got more oil resources than Saudi Arabia. I can't believe that, but it does. It should be rich, but now it's nearly bankrupt. People of Venezuela are saying it's broken. So broken, it's unbelievable. There is violent demonstrations going on against the government, accusing their president, Nicolas Maduro, of violating their human rights. And the people want to hold the government, the people want the government to hold new elections and to release political prisoners. But get this, amongst all that violence, I watched one young man who was playing a violin while all the demonstrations was going on between the people and the government police. There was tear gases going everywhere. Luckily, no bullets. And, you know, this young fellow, Will Santiago, who's 23, that was his way of contributing to the cause, playing his violin. And he was saying that people are getting killed in the streets. They've lost their jobs. There's no money to pay them. That was Greece a couple of years ago. I remember reading the same story then. Now, this camera crew have gone to the Caribbean side. Have gone to the Caribbean side. You know that word Caribbean? Boat cruise. The resort they went to had hardly any tourists. A few Colombians, some Argentinians, some Brazilians, no Venezuelans. Resorts are deserted. Okay, people, I'm going to just stop there because TBC has a boat cruise next year, so don't take this too literally. I mean, read the facts for yourself, okay? Because that boat cruise is awesome, and I'm on the boat. Okay, now I'll carry on. Tourists that normally go to the bank to change money don't. The tourists that are already there, they don't go anywhere near banks. Even this reporter and his team will refuse to go to the bank to try and exchange money for the local currency. So this reporter went to the black market to exchange for $100, this is US dollars, for 100 US dollar notes. What he got in exchange was over $1 billion bolivars, the local currency, notes, okay? Google what a bolivar looks like. One bolivar note isn't worth the money isn't worth what's printed on that note. It's worthless. Reminds me of those other currency in those other countries and in South Africa. $5 million people plus live in metropolitan Caracas. The urban growth rose sharply in the 1950s. But growth was chaotic. Oil production was the country's main industry. No hard currency, and imports falling 70% since 2013. But hey, you can go and fill your car up with gasoline for under $1. Remember, they are rich in oil and apparently nothing else. People would be standing outside shops for hours for food and medicine that are subsidised by the government. Now, these shops are far and few between. The lines are long, and when the cameras zoom in the shops, there's nothing there. It's deserted. The shelves are empty. So how does mothers with young babies, mothers with children, school age, how do they survive? The reporter asks one old man, what does he want? What does he want? The old man said, change the system. This should not be happening here. Change the system. This should not be happening here. Okay. Venezuela has 418 TBC members. 418 TBC members. Greece has 588 TBC members. 588 TBC members. How can we help our members in those countries to rise up? How do we help them? How do we reach out to those members and ask them, how can we help? We can see it on a global scale. I mean, they've been in the news lately. Just go to Google or just go to YouTube. You can see it. But 418 members, TBC members in Venezuela, and 588 members in Greece. I think we need to reach out to our members there in both these countries. Somehow, and let them know that we are there for them. There is a lot of anarchy going on in Venezuela right now. You've got the lawless, I wouldn't say lawless people. You've got the people that are trying They really are trying to send a message to the government. But then you've got a government in place that is simply not working. Well, not working for the people. I always thought that the people bring the government into power. Well, if the people rise up and make a noise loud and clear, they can also bring the government down. Now, I hope I'm not getting myself into trouble by saying this, but like I said, how can we help our TBC members in both these countries, Venezuela and Greece? And just maybe, just maybe, they are able to spread the word of TBC throughout their countries. If anything, to give their people hope. Because right now, I think, well, being a mother myself, and if I was in one of their shoes, I would be looking for any way out to save myself, my children, and my grandchildren. I would be looking for a way to change the system to what is happening to me right this minute. Now, it's horrible, okay? It is literally horrible with what's going on. So I wanted to bring this to on my live broadcast this evening because I wanted to see how we could help. And the only way, that's why I looked at the numbers and how many members are in Venezuela and Greece. And then I wanted to know how can we reach out to them, our TBC members, and ask them, how can we support you? How can we support our friends? Because I can, I would not like to guess what they are going through in both countries. But I was trying to, when I was searching for my topic today and came across that, I was trying to link the situation with what's happening in both countries with TBC. And that's why I went to the members and thought, well, how many members are in TBC in these countries? And when I looked at how many members, I went, oh my God, is that all? Just imagine if there were, oh, well, we know the power of TBC, right? We know what it can do for people. I know what it's done for me. And if you're a TBC member, you know what it's done for you. So we know what power that this TBC coin has. And one thing I'm so thankful that admin did was take it away from the euro and transferred the coin's value under 1 grain of gold. Because with what's happening with the euro right now in Europe, there's every likely that that will collapse as well. But if we can somehow, if somebody out there can speak Venezuelan or Greece or know of families that are in that situation, maybe they can just reach out, ask the question. On how we can help. So that was my what I wanted to talk to you about today. It was I briefly just looked at the best information and ran with that, but I didn't want to go too in depth with the information because then it starts getting really political. And I didn't want to go into the political arena because I wanted to see if the people could help themselves. But since there's only a tiny number of members within both these countries, maybe us that lives overseas could help, or even maybe one of the top 10 leaders maybe has a suggestion. I don't know. But I think it would be an amazing idea. Now, remember when I said about Caracas, which is on the other side of the Caribbean? They did show those resorts in this post, and they looked absolutely beautiful, but totally deserted. But I hope to be on that boat. Now, just before I going back to the chemtrails, I was speaking to my daughter this evening, and she was telling me, she looked at my Facebook post, and she remembers, because we were living in Auckland back then, she remembers when she looked up in the skies when she was about 8. Yeah, 8 or 10. She used to see these zigzag patterns in the sky and how they look pretty. Well, I thought they were too when I was growing up. When I was growing up, my gosh, how we have truly been deceived. So now, in my house, I am totally going organic. But I'm growing it, well, not me. My husband's growing it. Aquaponics. Change the water system. Completely change your lifestyle. How do these rich people do it? I think we need to get smarter at the way things we're doing and what we're doing. Anyway, thank you for watching me this evening. I really do hope somebody is able to reach out to our TBC members in Greece and Venezuela. I think that would be a nice idea. This is Sharon Weller from Perth, Australia, saying good evening, and I'll see you tomorrow, same time, same channel, and we'll talk about it something else. Bye.